welcome to the Meeple Mentor YouTube channel. I'm Jared, and today we're doing an unboxing, and this is a new, or newish, harder to find right now game, a heavy Euro game by DEVIR Games. It's called Bitoku, and it is a spirit forest type creature game where you're trying to help the spirit creatures and whatnot. I don't really know, it's kind of confusing. It's very similar to kind of the Hayao Miyazaki Princess Mononoke type movie. But this plays out as a game. Now, unfortunately, my copy just delivered and the box was really beat up. And as you can see, it had a little bit of kind of separation here in the box lid, which kind of stinks. But I mean, I don't really want to send it back because they're not really easy to get right now. But this is designed by Germán P. Millán, drawn by Edu Valls, and solo mode by David Turksey. It's a 1 to 4 player game, plays in 2 hours for ages 14 and up. And I have played this one time. It wasn't my copy, obviously. So let's take a look. On the back it says, "The Great Spirit has been wisely and righteously governing the lives of all who live within the forest. Its time in our world has left a mark, and the echo of its actions shall resonate for centuries throughout every corner and meadow of the woods. However, its time is coming to an end, and the old forest needs a worthy successor. In Bitoku, players take on the role of spirits, fulfilling all sorts of tasks to prove they are worthy of undertaking the duties of the great spirit of the forest. Will you be chosen as the new protector and warden of this wondrous and mystical place?" So, it's a very fantasy woodland type theme, and yeah, it invokes a lot of anime in my kind of opinion. The rules teach, I should say, was very difficult, and getting through it the first time is a chore, but a chore that is worth it. I really enjoyed this game, and like I said, there's the lid that kind of broke. I'll have to glue that back together so I can have a nicer box. So we have the, I think, French and English rule books, or maybe Spanish. All right, so as you can see, it's a pretty thick book. The rulebook isn't quite as organized in a way that I would have preferred, and I'm sure a lot of people have a similar sort of grief about it. But once you learn it, it's not so bad, and yeah, it's really fun. So I'm going to set that aside. Let's take a look at what else we have in here. I'm seeing some of the player aids, which look like there's going to be both Spanish, which I'll set those out, and English, and there's quite a bit of information on these. As you can see, you can flip that open, all the icon glossary, the memory tiles, the yokai cards, and then on the back the end of this, like how you score everything. So up to 4, so there you go. Did I get an extra? Thought it said 1 to 4, right? 1 to 4 players? I don't know. Thought it was 4. Yeah, but there's a 5th one. So I don't know. I got a 5th player aid. So here's some dice that are included in the game that are, you know, kind of your typical rounded edge, translucent dice. You know, they work well. But there you go. Dice are good. We have some cards, we have some wooden pieces, we have the board. Let's take a look now at the wooden pieces and see what goodness they bring. Okay, so there's going to be some sorting involved later for all these pieces, but there's some screen printing on these wooden pieces, which is always fun. I believe those are wood logs. Log wood pieces. We have the Great Spirit Forest thing, the Great Spirit of the Forest. We have this token. That also tracks like the phases, and I don't know really what that is exactly. We have these little tokens here, which have like a sleep side and an open eye side. Those can be gained and used for various things, and there's like quite a bit for each player to have a whole bunch of these. Then we have like sake resource, and again they are screen printed on one side, They're pretty cool, unique shape and everything. I haven't seen meeples like that before. I believe these pieces are jade, but there's no screen printing. I think they're just like jade rocks, you know. And I think over here are like some stones, if I remember. So all wooden pieces, which are nice. Always like that. Good components, good quality. So we have all these color tokens for players. We also have your little spirit tokens that you can place on the board to help try to score certain things. And these are also screen printed with, you know, little faces on them, which are cute. You only get so many of these to be able to score certain cards that come out. So that's what those look like. Okay. Then over here, these are some of your workers, and they are all pretty unique. So there's the different shapes of each creature and the 4 different colors that you can be in the game. And some of them are easy to tell what they are, some of them aren't. But there are cards that go with it that are unique to the characters, which you'll get to see a little bit of a representation of what you are. These are the buildings that you can build out on certain cards that can also like improve your actions when you go there, if you have a building there. And placing them also gives you like a one-time bonus as well. And these are also a limited resource that players get. I recommend placing them out strategically. Having them out early really helps, because it's one of those things where not only does it help, you know, you placing them, it helps when other players place on those actions. So let's take a look here at the small cards that come in the game. These look like mini Euro-sized cards, if I had to guess. I'll be sleeving all these later. Okay. So these are ways to score points. You can collect these type of cards, you know, for extra point scoring. And yeah, you just have to have what's on them, and you get the points at the bottom. And if you don't complete it, you lose 2 points, stuff like that. The other cards, which I don't recall, which might be because they're for the solo mode, but that's what they look like here with this like wise bird looking guy. I don't know. Here's some other cards that will go on the board. And these get refreshed round to round, that kind of thing. Yep, there's these, and then these. So some of these, they're like the face up, or, you know, this orientation. And so you want to get those benefits by collecting the card and everything. And you also get benefits for having like sets sometimes, or collections of different icons, as you can see in the corners. But there's different really cool artwork on all these images, which is neat. Some of them are weird and creepy, but that's cool. I like it. I like it. Now these are the horizontal ones, and now you can like place these out and collect them, and you slowly, you know, build up this little path to the side of your board, and then you can move one of your tokens across there to get those points once collected. And yeah, they also have different types with the icon and the color on these cards for varying scoring purposes. But a large portion of the cards are always dedicated to the artwork itself, which is always very nice to look at. There's a lot of creativity in how it all looks, so I would give props for sure to the artists behind the game. Now, let's go forward and look at the dual layered board, main board is dual layered. And you know, I want to say this is probably the first like main board that I've seen that is dual layered, and it's just very impressive. Okay, so this goes like that. Okay, now I'm going to point out all the areas that are dual layer, like up here, this whole section there is dual layer. And here, these sections are dual layered, where dice gets placed and everything. This is flat. This here in the middle is a dual layer area. And here, these are dual layers. And lastly, these two sections are dual layers. The back of the board, now let me see if I can find the player count on these things. Okay, so yeah, this is a 3 and 4 player side board. So ideally you want at least 3 players so you can be able to use the double side board. But the 1 to 2 player side is the back and has everything you already need printed on it. So you don't have to put any cards or tiles on them. This is just what it looks like for the 1 to 2 player game. And so the tiles that you'll add on the others kind of fill out just like you see here, but more in a random type of thing or player count type of thing. But it folds up, triplets like that. Nice. I mean, it's really impressive board just to see. There's another rip that I was saying about the box that I saw when I opened it. It's just a bummer. Totally a bummer. But, you know, nothing a little glue can't fix, right? All right, so there's all kinds of tiles and resources in the game that you can earn, collect, and or, you know, get when you move a token onto it and that kind of thing. So there's going to be a lot of cardboard to punch out. Here's 1, 2. These go on your player board itself. These you can collect, and they are ones where you try to collect the top and bottoms to sort of make one connection of 2 different types. There's a ×3 for tokens. Here's some of the building tiles that can come out. Like I was saying, you can place a building on it to claim that. You've got these tiles, which are kind of used for adjusting your dice. You know, 1, 2, and 3. So there's the backs of those. There's some 3 times tokens for the different resources. Here's a good example that we're seeing here of the player board. All right, so it kind of looks like that. And yeah, you've got your cards here. You'll have up to 3 that can sit out at a time. Your little path with those horizontal cards goes out this way, and you can collect your little mosquito tokens here, and then those other hill tokens, I think they are, that go in here. And so you can start moving your little pieces along this path. You can also place tokens up here that you can collect. Some of them are income, some of them are like a one-time thing. And yeah, so there's a lot of locations there on the board to see. And here's this. And I think these flags go like here, just to help you, you know, keep track of your player cards and color and everything. So leave that there. Here's another player board. And here's some of those locations for dice, the 2 and 3, 4 different player counts that are placed in those spots on the main board. And then the last one here, player board. And I think the backs are unique. Now, they're different, but I think they are used for a different type of play or maybe just the solo play. I'm not sure because we didn't really use this side, but they look, each side has that kind of thing. Okay, so then we have this one, which is a folded out piece, different on each side for player counts, but this goes and fits in the slot at the top of the game board that we were looking at, and is its own track that can go out with your pieces out and then up to one of these shrines and collect, you know, rewards and that sort of thing. But it folds open just like that. And this one also has some folded spots, and this is where you can collect some of those hill tokens. And this is a folding piece with varying amounts of spots for player count. And that fits on the main board. It folds right up. I think it's cool how a lot of games are using the idea of like folding cardboard pieces. Yeah, it just feels like a concept that hasn't been done really much before, but it's gaining a lot of popularity. I see it more, at least. And then these are some more token pieces and tiles that go on the main map and fill up those dual layered holes in the board, so that once it's all placed in there, it's just a nice smooth feel, which I think is why they did that, because otherwise if it was just flat, you would just have these big old tiles on top that might slide around and move, and they went with quality to make it a thick board so that you can sit them all in these positions. So with the cards, with the tokens, these, and all the cardboard pieces and player boards, that's everything that you need to play, all the components, for Bitoku. Now it does give you some bag of baggies, so if you're running low, which I never seem to be, you have more bag resources to sort everything. And otherwise, that's everything that comes in, just the retail copy of Bitoku. I don't think there is another version of this. It wasn't kickstarted. It just came out as far as a retail release, and it is a very high quality production. I highly recommend you try it if you like heavy Euro games with a lot of crunchy thinkiness to them that takes a long time to play, but is very rewarding and looks beautiful on the table. So definitely check it out. Bitoku by DEVIR Games. So thanks for tuning in to this unboxing video. I've been Jared. And, stick around on the channel. If you want to subscribe, that's cool. You'll get notified of all the tutorial videos that come out. We do 2 a month. We do news videos twice a month, every other Friday. We have unboxings like this. We have a podcast. So stick around. Check it all out, please. Comment. Let me know what you think of this. And, I'll see you in the next video. But thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.